Something I've noticed around the WoW community and the WoW Reddit and the WoW forums is the amount of backlash and apologies the Horde is getting for their more recent actions in Battle for Azeroth. Now, I'm not going to go in detail of those actions, but just know people don't like that the Horde is quote-unquote starting a war and using gruesome tactics against the Alliance. They believe the Horde is being portrayed incorrectly and that they used to be good and just and peaceful, and that Blizzard has messed it all up again because Blizzard needs to push the plot forward, and Blizzard writing, how dare you? But have they? Has the Horde ever been any of those things for long periods of time? Have they been good at any of those things? I don't think so. The only real way you can clarify the just and good and honorable and peaceful nature of the Horde was with Thrall and Vol'jin in charge, but in the grand scheme of things, especially in the scheme of the Horde, that was a pretty short period of time. Thrall ruled for, 7 years? Vol'jin ruled for about 2. So the Horde had about a solid 9 years of just and fairness and peace, and even that ride was pretty bumpy. Thrall orchestrated skirmishes with the Alliance in Arathi, Warsong Gulch, and Alterac, and barely even paid attention to his own people, so much so that he was shocked to find out the Forsaken had created a secret plague that could kill the living or the undead. And as for Vol'jin, he was in charge when the skirmishes on Draenor broke out in Ashrand, and, well, he didn't do much else. Like Thrall, he was just a poor leader. So the good and just wasn't good and just, but it was bad and depressing. As for the rest of the Horde's history, going all the way back to the first Horde and all the others, they were warmongers. Even their leader is named the War Chief. Take just before the first war, when the orcs willingly drank the demon blood and slaughtered the Draenei before opening a rift between Draenor and Azeroth and doing the same to the dwarves, the humans, the gnomes, all the way to the end of the second war. Was that just? Was that good? Was the mindless slaughter of everyone that you willingly took part of good and just? So enter Thrall's new and just Horde. But it wasn't new or just, was it? Not to the Alliance or its own people. The Horde was in a worse spot under Thrall's rule than they were under the control of the Legion. They lived in mud huts, they had crag caves, awful architecture, poor leadership, the list goes on. And it was around this time of writing this script for this video that I realized the Horde simply cannot exist if it isn't at war. If you've noticed all the successes the Horde has brought, it was through conflict. It was through warmongering. This is because the Orc society, the quote-unquote bedrock of the Horde, was built on the back of war. You can look at their history on Draenor if you want to see what I mean. And because of this, the races of the Horde cannot simply exist together under one banner if there was no conflict. The Horde would simply crumble if they were peaceful and just. Take what I said earlier about Thrall's Horde and compare it to Garrosh's Horde. The two are nothing alike, and even if Garrosh turned nasty in the end, he brought the Horde out of its sad, slummy life and built them a complex that could, would, and was rivaling the Alliance for a time. Then the Horde returned to a time of peace after they themselves ripped apart the success of Garrosh's Horde and returned to trying to be peaceful. During this time, they lost their ability to compete with the Alliance and proved to be useless during the campaign on Draenor and the Broken Isles. And now, Sylvanas' Horde returned to its roots, the bedrock of its existence, to fight a war against the Alliance. But now it's different because now they're out of character. What? It makes no sense to me. How could they be out of character? I don't really agree with it, but I really want to see your interpretation of it. So what do you think? Do you think the Horde's actions are out of character, and is this right up their alley, or is this maybe just Blizzard writing? Maybe it is up the Horde's alley and Blizzard writing is pushing it forward. I don't know. You'll just have to let me know, and I'll be sure to read it. Thanks for watching.